Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a case that's as haunting as it is mysterious. The disappearance of Maddy Middleton. This story is filled with twists and turns that you won't believe, so let's get into it. Alright, folks, let's get to know Maddy Middleton, the heart of today's story. Maddy was an 8-year-old girl living in the Tannery Arts Center apartment complex in Santa Cruz, California. This wasn't just any apartment complex, it was a hub for artists and creatives, a place where Maddy's own bright personality and creative spirit truly flourished. She was known for her infectious laughter, her love for drawing, and her knack for making friends. She was the kind of kid who would light up a room the moment she walked in. Her mother, Laura, often said that Maddy had an old soul, wise beyond her years, and that she was the light of her life. But on July 26, 2015, that light dimmed. Maddy disappeared, and her absence left a void not just in her family but in the entire community. The day she vanished was like any other summer day. She was seen riding her new scooter, a gift she had recently received. But as the sun set, Maddy was nowhere to be found. So, who was Maddy Middleton? And why, despite extensive investigations and community searches, does her case remain an unsolved mystery? That's what we're going to explore today. Buckle up, because this story is filled with twists and turns that you won't see coming. Alright, so now that we've gotten to know Maddy a bit, let's talk about the last time she was seen. It was July 26, 2015, the same day she vanished. The security cameras at the Tannery Arts Center captured her riding her new scooter around the complex. She was wearing her favorite purple dress and her hair was tied back in a ponytail, just the way she liked it. The footage shows her scooting past the art studios, waving at a few neighbors, and then disappearing around a corner. It was a sunny afternoon, and by all accounts, Maddy was doing what any 8-year-old would be doing, enjoying her summer day. But here's where things take a dark turn. After that moment, Maddy was never seen again. She didn't return home for dinner, something completely out of character for her. Her scooter was later found abandoned near the complex's art studios, but Maddy was nowhere to be found. The footage is the last known record of Maddy's whereabouts, and it's a piece of evidence that has both baffled and haunted investigators, her family, and the community for years. What could have possibly happened to her in broad daylight, within the confines of her own community? That's the million-dollar question, and it's what makes this case so perplexing and heartbreaking. So, we've talked about who Maddy was in the last time she was seen. Now, let's delve into the immediate aftermath of her disappearance. When Maddy didn't return home for dinner, which was highly unusual for her, alarm bells started ringing in her mother Laura's mind. Laura immediately began searching the Tannery Arts Center complex, knocking on neighbors' doors and asking if anyone had seen her daughter. Realizing the gravity of the situation, the community rallied together like never before. Artists put down their brushes, musicians set aside their instruments, and everyone joined the search. Flyers with Maddy's face were hastily printed and distributed, and social media posts went viral. The community was united in a single mission: find Maddy. But despite their frantic efforts, there was no sign of her. Her scooter was found, as I mentioned earlier, but Maddy was nowhere. It was at this point that Laura made the heart-wrenching call to the police. The Santa Cruz Police Department arrived on the scene, and what was initially a community search escalated into a full-blown police investigation. Time was of the essence, and everyone knew it. The first 48 hours in a missing persons case are crucial, and the clock was ticking. The police immediately cordoned off areas, reviewed the security footage, and started interviewing potential witnesses. But as the sun set and the night wore on, hope began to wane. Maddy was still missing, and the community was left grappling with a horrifying reality. One of their own had vanished, and finding her was becoming a race against time. Okay, so we've covered the emotional and frantic initial search led by Maddy's mother and the community. Now, let's talk about when the professionals stepped in, the Santa Cruz Police Department. From the get-go, it was clear that the police were taking Maddy's disappearance extremely seriously. This wasn't just another case for them, it was a mission. However, the police faced a myriad of challenges right from the start. One of the most controversial aspects was the decision not to issue an Amber Alert. Now, for those who may not know, an Amber Alert is a rapid notification system to alert the public about child abductions. But in Maddy's case, an Amber Alert was not issued. Why? Because according to the guidelines, there has to be clear evidence of an abduction, and in this case, there wasn't any, at least not initially. This decision sparked outrage and frustration, not just among the community but also online, where Maddy's story was gaining traction. The police started their investigation by securing the Tannery Arts Center complex. They reviewed hours of security footage, including the last known video of Maddy riding her scooter. They interviewed neighbors, friends, and even local shopkeepers. Canvassing efforts were ramped up, and search dogs were brought in. Divers searched nearby bodies of water, and helicopters scanned from above. It was an all-hands-on-deck situation. But despite their exhaustive efforts, the leads were few and far between. The security footage didn't show any signs of foul play, and interviews with potential witnesses led to more questions than answers. Days turned into weeks, and the lack of substantial leads was not only frustrating for the police but also disheartening for Maddy's family and the community. So, what exactly went wrong? Was it a lack of evidence, or were there other factors at play? That's what we're going to delve deeper into as we continue to unravel this perplexing and heartbreaking case. So, we've talked about the community's efforts and the police investigation. But what about the people who were most affected by Maddy's disappearance? Yes, I'm talking about her family, particularly her mother, Laura. Laura has been the driving force behind keeping Maddy's case alive in the public eye. From day one, she's been vocal about her theories, her frustrations, and her desperate need for answers. She's given countless interviews, organized community vigils, and even clashed with the police over the direction of the investigation. Now, Laura has her own theories about what happened to Maddy. She believes that her daughter didn't just wander off. She thinks there's more to the story, something darker. And she's not alone. Other family members have echoed her sentiments, questioning the effectiveness of the police investigation and even suggesting alternative theories that range from kidnapping to more sinister possibilities. But it's not just about theories and frustrations. It's also about coping with an unimaginable loss. Laura has turned to advocacy work, speaking at events about missing children and working with organizations that aim to bring them home. It's her way of channeling her grief into something constructive, something that could potentially save other families from experiencing the same heartache. And let's not forget the emotional toll this has taken on the family. Birthdays, holidays, and family gatherings have never been the same. The void left by Maddy's disappearance is a constant presence, a haunting reminder of a vibrant young girl who was inexplicably taken from them. So, as we delve deeper into this complex case, it's crucial to remember the human element. Behind every headline, every theory, and every police report, there's a family that's been torn apart, still searching for answers and still holding on to hope. Alright, so we've covered the emotional roller coaster that Maddy's family has been on since her disappearance. But what about the rest of us, the public, who've been following this case? Naturally, theories and speculations have been swirling around, some plausible and some, well, not so much. Let's dive into some of the most talked about theories. The most obvious theory, and the one that has gained the most traction, is that Maddy was abducted. Given that she vanished in broad daylight within her own community, many believe that someone she knew, or perhaps a stranger who had been watching her, took her. However, the lack of eyewitnesses and the absence of any signs of struggle have made this theory difficult to prove. Another theory suggests that Maddy, being the adventurous and curious child she was, may have wandered off to explore and got lost. But given her familiarity with the community and the extensive search efforts, many find this theory less likely. Some people, including members of Maddy's family, speculate that someone within the Tannery Arts Center community might be involved. The idea here is that it had to be someone who knew the layout of the complex and had access to areas where a child could be hidden. This theory has led to tension within the community but remains unproven. The internet is rife with darker theories, suggesting everything from human trafficking to more nefarious criminal activities. While these theories capture the imagination, they are, as of now, purely speculative and not supported by any concrete evidence. So, what do we make of all these theories? Well, the truth is, we don't know. The lack of substantial evidence has made it incredibly challenging to lean strongly in any direction. And that's what makes this case so hauntingly captivating. We have theories, we have speculations, but what we don't have are answers. So, we've delved into the theories, the police investigation, and the emotional turmoil faced by Maddy's family. But what about Maddy herself? How is she remembered today? Despite the dark cloud of mystery that hangs over her disappearance, Maddy's legacy as a bright, creative, and loving child lives on. In the Tannery Arts Center community, a mural has been painted in her honor, capturing her vibrant spirit. Her school has set up a scholarship fund in her name to support other creative kids. And every year, on the anniversary of her disappearance, the community gathers for a candlelight vigil, not just to mourn but to celebrate the joy she brought into their lives. Her story has also inspired change. Advocacy groups have used Maddy's case to push for reforms in how missing children cases are handled. Her mother, Laura, as we mentioned earlier, has become a vocal advocate for missing children, turning her personal tragedy into a force for good. So, while the questions around her disappearance remain unanswered, Maddy's impact on those who knew her and even those who didn't is undeniable. And there we have it, folks, the enigmatic and heartbreaking case of Maddy Middleton. While we may never know what truly happened to her, her story serves as a haunting reminder of the lives irrevocably changed by such tragic events. It's a tale that has captivated us, frustrated us, and most importantly, made us reflect on the vulnerabilities we all share. Thank you so much for joining me today on this emotional journey. If you found this story as compelling as I did, Please don't forget to hit that like button, share this video to spread awareness, and of course, subscribe for more true crime stories that need to be told. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and keep seeking the truth.